All right, so we are live. We are streaming to YouTube and to Periscope on
Working.
Twitter. So, hey, happy Friday, everybody. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. Uh, James here.
Roberto here. We are today just a couple of good friends.
Spending some time together. Usual agenda. We like to just go live for a little while every Friday because we are a Catalyst-funded project. This project we're doing was bootstrapped from the Cardano Treasury, and so we believe that we owe it to the community just to give you this little update every week. And what we like to cover is what we've done, our next steps, your next steps, and then we take questions. Hi, Casso.
Hey.
So we always start with shout outs. So I'll take the first one. Really want to thank Randall and Miss Neona for pushing our thinking really hard this week. And we'll talk more about some conversations that we had. But the two of you really stepped up. You asked some hard questions and you made us better. And we really appreciate you for that. So thanks. You want to take the next one?
Yeah. Want to shout out Ada Pulse for the great labor they are doing covering the Catalyst proposals and especially obviously ours one. So thank you so much for writing that great article and keep doing what you're doing because it's great to have this written review of proposals. I really love the format, so thank you.
Yeah, me too. That site is beautiful and so essential. It's really cool. And we don't usually like using the word everyone in our shout outs. We like to be specific, but there's just so many people who worked to help Catalyst Town Hall evolve. And to everybody who had a hand in that, thank you. And an even bigger group of everyone is everyone who has had a hard conversation this week. This was a really emotional week. I think for a lot of people across the ecosystem, there's just so much going on, and we're all in the process of recognizing the bigness of it and adapting to the ever evolving challenges. And that means that we're going to have hard conversations. So to all of you who showed up to have those, thank you. And so building on that, not a lot of brand new work to share, huh?
Yeah, personally, I had a bit tough week, so I kept doing my thing on infrastructure, but hadn't too much time to work on stuff. But yeah, we keep working on Dandelion infrastructure and some other internal stuff we cannot share too much just yet. And yeah, having conversations and going on with trying to find synergies and building team. Our DAO, if at whatever degree of each DAO component it is, it's a work in progress to grow up this team of teams. Yep.
I like how you are referring to DAO components as well, and recognizing that we can push progress on some parts of maybe becoming a DAO, and it doesn't happen all at once, and we're on that journey. And hey, Steve, hey, Chad, hey.
Hey.
It's good to see you guys here. So yeah, I mean, a lot of this week became a space to have a lot of those big conversations, both directly inside of Gimbalabs in terms of making plans, and with the network of people that we are working with beyond the immediate Gimbalabs team. And so we had a lot of conversations about difficult things, as I already mentioned, but also just a lot of questions a lot of conversations supporting people and supporting other builders. And this, Roberto and I have been talking about this. This does create a tension, right? We all have our own goals and the things that we want to accomplish every day. And I certainly sometimes just want to close the door and not talk to anybody and get a few things done. But also we recognize the value in those conversations and showing up, right? And so finding the balance between when do you show up for conversations and when do you stop that and get stuff done. That is a tension for all of us to work through. So Josh brought this idea of tensions to Playground a couple of weeks ago and asked us to start paying attention to them. Internally, we often use the word friction. There's friction between this idea and that idea. And in both cases, both what Josh was sharing with us and what we remind ourselves is that these are not things to be avoided. We don't want to live in a world without tension and friction. And we especially don't want to live in a world where they exist under the surface, but we ignore them. I think I live in a country right now where that's kind of the default mode is to kind of sweep things under the rug until they get too big to deal with. And I think that's a lot of what the US is going through right now. But really the world we want to live in is one where we recognize tensions, we face them head on and we name them as a way to grow.
Yeah, we cannot live in Instagram mode, right? We need to face life is full of crises, full of tensions and frictions, and people from different backgrounds and mindsets, having their own ideas that collision with other ideas. That I brought my staple is called peace, and I always thought about peace. I recently found that we have like negative peace, positive peace. Negative peace is just the absence of war, which will be like Instagram mode, right? We don't fight here, everything is fine, everything is beautiful. That doesn't mean there is a really productive peace, which is a proactive peace that needs to be built, resolving these tensions and friction from different people, pursuing their needs and their ideas in the end. So it's funny because in Cardano it seems like there are waves of these tensions and frictions that come always at the same time. It's funny because I saw that in the SPO community. We also had some drama on that community this week. We need to find ways to create a better world. We need to find proactive strategies to make people understand each other. Put yourself on the shoes of the other one. Is that
Absolutely.
And understand that we are here all together, different people, different brains, and that we can cooperate. That's what gonna make us all more happy. Make this world a better world. I mean, utopias are good; they are unreachable, but we need to pursue them.
Right. We claim the Cardano protocol is for everybody. Is it?
It's it's a tool. We can use it for wherever, right? It's like a hammer. So let's find our ways.
So it's hard work, and I had a pretty emotional week, but that's not a bad thing, right? It's a necessary thing, and hopefully we're all learning together to just always be getting better at taking these tensions, this friction. I love that concept of positive peace. That's really good. That's really helpful.
it's funny that when I discovered the term, I started researching, and I found there is a paper about building positive peace on public administrations, which somehow remind me to Cardano community and treasury. Yeah, we are obviously building a public infrastructure. So
That's right.
it was.
Right. It doesn't always feel like a public infrastructure yet, but it's getting there, and we're pushing it that direction. And there's friction, right? It's slow. That's it's slow because of friction. That's okay. That's okay, because that's where we're going. Can you send a link to that paper actually? Because that might, I can imagine that going on our reading list for tokenomics even.
Sure. We'll drop it in the brain dumps channel.
Thanks. So next steps, there's always been these things that we know we have to do, and we are taking our time getting to each one and taking them as they come. But for me, next week is my number one task is to get better at sharing as much as we can about current dev work inside of Gimbalabs, right? We don't say it all on this weekly update because we don't want this to just be a place of hype and like coming attractions. We want to really talk about what's happening. But to people who are really contributing inside, we want to get better at saying, look, here's the constellation of the work that's happening. So that's my number one goal. And the reason is, right, when better systems for that exist, we can get better at delegating tasks and recognizing contributors and compensating contributors too. So I want to have a good report to share back with you next week on these goals. Sorry, I really took all the bullet points on this slide, Roberto.
It's perfect. Just wanted to highlight that we try to make these weekly updates not like too deep technically, where to draw the line about me talking about Kubernetes resources and that stuff. It's a bit hard sometimes. So
we have coding on chain for that, and those videos are legendary. Honestly, I really think they are aging well, and they're gonna just be a gift that keeps giving. You guys, it's really, really cool.
Yeah, we are on a hiatus. My partner Kai is a bit busy. I've been also a bit busy and skipped last 2 weeks. But we have ready the next session. I teased something on the Brain Dams channel. We will be playing with NFTs again. It's gonna be next episode. Gonna be fun.
Awesome.
And I hope illustrative for people that want to get into minting tokens.
Yeah. Very good. So those are our next steps. Continuing to iterate on these systems. Your next steps, we do have a proposal in Fund 4. Voting is ongoing now and ends next Friday, a week from today. We have, I think we only have one, well, we have the Typo G project as well. So we actually should probably talk about that. We can put out a little blast about that, but in terms of Gimbalabs itself, we only have one proposal in Fund 4. It's in the Dev Ecosystem Challenge, and it's about building network capacity. One of the things we recognize is that we want there to be more developers who can do the work that needs to be done. We've had some really, really nice successes on that route. We've onboarded several people who came with their development skills and have been applying those to the work of building on Cardano. Joey and Piotr and Andy come to mind immediately, and a lot of people are also taking their initial steps there. So yeah, it's just under $50,000 US originally, when we made this proposal, our assumption was maybe half of it would be just to compensate the founding team, and about half of it would be for developers. But that was for funding our work from April to June, and because of timelines, this is what it is. Here we are now in June, and what we really want to do is use all of those funds to contribute to developers. So that's as a founding team, we're ready to put ourselves on hold for just a minute, because the development work that we're doing is so important, and we really want to recognize people for that. So those, when those votes come through, we've already started conversations with a few people, but much more on that, and we'll be really excited to share where exactly that money is going precisely.
Can I throw just a couple of thoughts up around that?
Of course.
One of the reasons that I personally can resign to get those funds and actually pass them on contributors, on potential or future members of the team, is because my stake pool is doing just well. I mean, it's still a small pool which barely pays one full salary, and I'm fine with that. That lets me focus on other things. That's the way I always thought about being a stable operator. Even if I don't have a fully saturated pool, it can pay my bills. That lets me focus on building other things that reverts on Cardano, makes more transactions, makes the ecosystem richer. That's what I wanted to do, and I'm still. I mean, the stake pool is still small, but it provides me with enough funds to do that. Just wanted to highlight that, because that's the importance on choosing well who you want to support on the ecosystem, who really wants to give back to the network and to the greater project, which is Cardano. Just wanted again to highlight that importance. Choose well, and please don't delegate to Binance, and support someone that makes YouTube videos, create documentation, that gives back a bit. That's my personal choice for my stake.
That's it. Hey, we're gonna have to keep saying that. I was looking at the Daedalus survey results that A shared earlier, and it's nobody's fault. It's just that most people don't understand yet, and so we have to keep communicating this. What it means when you delegate somewhere, and how exactly you're supporting a builder, so we can keep doing this. We can keep sharing that message, and I just want to reiterate that as you are supported by Peace Pool, Roberto, what you're doing with your time is building another way for people to eventually get add to their small business, right? This is what Dandelion is going to do as well, is give people a chance to maybe add a little bit on top of their monthly income, right?
And creating opportunities for more people to get a job and make more transactions in the end. Down the line out mechanism, when it's done, it's gonna create more traffic on the network, and it's like a feedback loop, healthy feedback loop. That's all the time the goal and the mindset.
That's where we're headed. Hey, Swarm.
Hey.
Yeah, thanks for the supportive comments, Juan. That is what we've got for today. A little bit different of a weekly update, because we don't have all the new ideas to share, but we wanted to just be present here. And we know that a lot of people, probably everybody, all 6 people who are watching this right now, can probably relate and probably have been in some good and hard conversations this week. So thanks for showing up here. Anybody got any questions? We're happy to stick around. You can drop them in the chat. Steve loves the hard conversations. That's why we love Steve. Licking his chops. Yeah, trial and error. That's it. That's it. Juan, I'm curious about that actually. Yeah, because first of all, yes. So registration did close recently, maybe 10 days ago. Yeah. So basically, because of the way it works right now. Hey, yeah, Juan, let's take that offline and try to figure out. I mean, I don't think there's anything we can do at this point, but let's check it out. Basically, in the registration window, you have to go into your Daedalus wallet and create a QR code, because they basically take a snapshot of the state of the blockchain at a certain moment. That QR code then becomes your entry point into the voting app. Okay, got you.
Yeah, for this next Fund 5, I think if things hasn't changed, you could use the same QR code, the same voting power that you use for Fund 4. You don't need to re-register. That registration will be open again soon.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there should be a pretty quick turnaround to start Fund 5 voting, I understand. Yeah, Juan, just hit us up, okay? And we can try to walk through that. That's fine. All right. Again, hey, thanks for stepping up this week, everybody. It's really exciting. It's a little bit overwhelming and really exciting. So,
thank you for being there. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Peace.